Hello and welcome to another AIC production video. So anybody who's been on my channel for any length of time knows that I review a ton of ThinkPads for several reasons. One being I like them, and so I want to look at the new ones as much as I can. Lenovo has also been amazing and has included me in their review program, so I get something to review that doesn't cost me anything to review, which makes it possible for me to do that. And I've also my family likes them, so I have just bought a lot for family members, for myself, and been able to review them that way as well. I have reviewed other brands of laptops over the years, but they're few and far in between. Usually there's something unique about them that I'm interested in that makes me want to see them. Today I have a laptop that I wasn't necessarily looking for, wasn't necessarily on my radar per se, and is a lot newer than what I normally review from Dell. It's a Dell Inspiron 15 3520. 15 point, I have specs here, 15.6-inch screen. Oh, it's a widescreen. It's a 16:9 aspect ratio. Core i5 1235U, so it's that 12th gen Core i5 processor. And this is kind of funny. They have some stickers here. It looks like this was upgraded or something from the factory because it has a seal, and the seal wasn't cut. It's an original seal here, so I don't know. It seems like maybe it was done after the fact, but with a factory seal, kind of confusing. And kind of confusing is how I feel about this laptop. I haven't had it more than 24 hours at this point, but there's some interesting design choices with this that are kind of confusing for me. And part of me likes some aspects about this, and some of it is not stuff I like. So here's a laptop. You can see it's a fingerprint magnet. I put fingerprints on everything. It's really frustrating. These are the screws out of the bottom. There's two more that are captive. These ones are not. These ones are one length. The captive ones are a different length. So I'm glad that the different length screws are captive, and these are all the same length. Makes it a little bit easier. Here's the charger for it, and it uses a barrel plug. I've seen this on previous laptops that I've had from Dell. It's not their big barrel plug for some of their Inspirons and their Precisions. It's also not USB Type-C charger. So interesting, because this actually doesn't have any USB-C ports on it. So on the left-hand side laptop, power, HDMI, USB 3 ports. On the right side, this is a USB 2 port, a full-size HDMI, and a headphone microphone jack. This has ports that I would expect on a laptop, like a 5th or 6th gen Core i5 processor, not a 12th gen. Really kind of weird. Let's go ahead. I've already unscrewed it. The two captive ones are here at the back, at the corners. They're for the hinge, so they're longer to give support to the hinge. Go ahead and open it up. It's pretty easy to open. I didn't have to require any special tools or anything, not even a spudger to open that. All right, starting off, the charging port's back here, since it's flipped over now. And the nice thing about it is it is a separate piece from the system board. So if this ever gets damaged, it plugs in here, and you replace this part, and it costs you a couple of bucks at most to replace. I haven't seen a system yet that uses a USB Type-C charging port that is not soldered to the system board. I'd even love it if it was a daughter board even that was inexpensive. You didn't have to replace the whole system board or do micro soldering to replace the charging port if you burn up or break your USB-C port. We do have two full-size RAM slots here. So it's replaceable, no soldered memory, a removable Wi-Fi card, which is something I appreciate. It can be upgraded. This is not Wi-Fi 7, but if we wanted to add Wi-Fi 7, not a big deal to add it. We also have our M.2 slot. And something I find to be very interesting is, in addition to that, we get a 2.5-inch drive bay with the cord for it and the screws. They're there. It is interesting to me. The battery's pretty small. It's only a 41 watt hour battery, and it looks like you possibly could have a much bigger battery here, but instead they have the drive cage in here. which I haven't seen a modern laptop in a good 3 to 4 years, maybe, that's used a 2.5-inch drive. Everything's been moving over to M.2 slots. So this is a unique choice for me on a newer laptop. This came out in 2024, so about a year old now, but still new enough that I think that this would be pretty obsolete at this point. This does have two DIMMs already populated, so 32 gigs of RAM, and it is a 1TB SSD, so I probably won't be using this because I don't need to expand my storage. I don't know how hot this CPU runs, but it's a fairly small cooler, which is probably fine. We're not running with dedicated graphics. We're not running with, high-end CPU. I haven't looked into the specs of it yet, but I bet it's less than a 25-watt CPU, probably a 15-watt CPU, if based off the size of the cooler. There is no WAN slot on here, so you're not going to have wireless internet, or I should say mobile broadband. That's fine. I very rarely go anywhere that I don't have access to Wi-Fi of one kind or another, so it's not that big a deal for me. But fairly clean board. Looks like anything I'd want to replace on here is replaceable or upgradable. Pretty small battery. I would have liked to have seen a decently sized battery, something bigger than just 40 watt hours. I'll look to see if that is an option, just because if you get rid of this drive bay, looking on here, it looks like the battery could extend all the way to here without issue. So I'll do a full review of this system. I've been downloading, installing some games on it. I'll do a benchmark on it and do some other things that y'all like to see. So if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, definitely let me know, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you in my next video. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.